It's your girl Desi Des, and I am back with another introvert alert. This time, this is 7 jobs that will improve introverts' interpersonal skills. Let's get into it. Based on my research and my own personal experiences as an employee, there are a few skills that every person needs to be considered hirable. The first skill I mentioned in my previous video is communication skills. So if you haven't watched that yet, go back and watch it. The second and most vital skill that employers look for when hiring is interpersonal skills. Here are a few of my top favorite. Emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is simply the ability to maintain and express one's emotions. Emotional intelligence is vital in the workplace because it allows you to be able to control and manage your emotions no matter what emotions you are feeling. If you're having a bad day, you don't want to be at work taking it out on everybody else. And trust me, we don't want that either. And so this is a very important skill that employers look for because it says, hey, I'm emotionally stable and I know how to work through my emotions, and I'm not going to bring conflict to the office because I'm okay, or I'm going to be okay and I'm not going to take it out on everybody. Emotional intelligence is also good when it comes to understanding others' emotions, and we'll get into that later when we talk about empathy. My next favorite interpersonal skill, teamwork. Most likely you will be working with more than one person and you need to know how to work as a team. Employers are looking to make sure that not only can you work as a team, can you solve problems quickly, can you guys come up with solutions that'll benefit the company, can you work with another person without a lot of problems. Teamwork is important in the workplace. Conflict resolution. Conflict resolution is very important in any job that you ever will have because you need to know how to solve problems quickly and effectively. And if not quickly, at least effectively. Solving problems effectively means that you and the other person or other parties come to a mutual agreement to settle a dispute or to come up with a solution that meets everybody's needs. It takes every single skill of effective communication, verbal and nonverbal, to be perfect at conflict resolution. We're all learning, but it's a good skill to have. My last favorite interpersonal skill, empathy. Empathy is a stem of emotional intelligence that allows someone to make decisions based off of the understanding of other people's feelings. So emotional intelligence is being able to manage your own feelings. Empathy is being able to manage your own feelings as well as someone else's feelings, and then working together to be able to understand each other. Now, I know you didn't come here for a breakdown of every single personal skills that there are, but there are quite a few, and if you're interested, that might be a study that you could do on your own. There are a lot of interpersonal skills that are vital in the workplace. Those are just my top ones. So let's get into these jobs. The jobs that I'm about to mention are specifically for introverts because I know that we have a hard time diving in to the workplace based on our social skills. And so if you take the time to really strengthen and improve your interpersonal skills, along with your communication skills, as we talked about before, then you're well on your way to be successful in any job that you have, and you don't have to settle for those jobs that don't require you to grow in those areas. That's what this is all about. Trying to make that money for the introverts. Extroverts you can tap into, but this is for the introverts who need extra help improving their skills. So, number 1, counselor. A counselor's main focus is to help people solve their own problems. So you're right up there with conflict resolution already. I can't imagine anyone doing this job without empathy and emotional intelligence. This job will actually require a degree and, in some positions, extra certification. But if you're looking for something long-term or maybe a path to start heading towards, then this is a good fit for you. Just a friendly reminder, it's never too late to go back to school. You can go back to school at any time. You can go right now, you can go in 5 years, you can go in 10 years if you just need some time to rest. That's perfectly fine. All you need is the drive, and I'm helping you with the drive. Here's the drive. You can go back to school at any time. So don't let any of these jobs scare you if you need a degree. It's okay. You can always go back. Okay, now that we've got that out of the way, if you have a heart for people and consistently find yourself assisting others and solving their problems, then this is the perfect fit for you. And don't let being an introvert shy you away from this sort of job. Yes, you will be interacting with people a lot of the time, but because you're in your natural habitat, it'll feel comfortable. You'll just need a little bit more time to get used to the communication and the social interaction. Number 2, a teacher. This job will also require a degree and extra certification, depending on the state you're in. Teachers definitely have to have interpersonal skills to effectively communicate with their students at all ages. I used to be a teacher, and let me tell you, it takes patience, it takes empathy, you have to have understanding. All kids of all ages just want you to listen to them, relate to them, discipline them when necessary, let them know that you care, and just really relate to what it is that they're going through whenever they're going through something. And so it takes a special person to be a teacher. But I would challenge you, if you like kids already, then this will be the perfect avenue for you to jump right into. Introvert or not, you got this. Now, if being a teacher sounds too scary right away, that's okay. I would then suggest you consider being a teacher assistant or a paraprofessional or a daycare administrator. That way you get to be around the kids, you still get to interact with children, and you slowly ease your way into socially interacting with the kids and their parents, which will lead to conflict resolution and extra social interaction. And so if you want to just ease your way in, then I would start there. And then if you decide that you want to stick around, then you can go ahead and get your teaching degree and jump right in. Number 3, flight attendant. Initially, you wouldn't think that a flight attendant would be a good avenue to improve interpersonal skills. But if you think about it, flight attendants socially interact with people every single day, every single flight, every single time that they are maneuvering through the airports. They're always talking to somebody. And as long as they have their suit on, their gear, people are probably always asking them questions. Therefore, they have to have those interpersonal skills to interact and provide good customer service. I'd also imagine that there's a high level of empathy and emotional intelligence that a flight attendant will need when dealing with younger flyers that are nervous and scared of heights, the elderly flyers who just need a little extra assistance with their bags, or maybe the wheelchair assistance, and even teenagers who are flying alone for the first time. So if you don't have interpersonal skills and you like traveling, this might be a good way to kind of jump in and start improving those social interactions with people, because you'll be speaking with people on a daily basis of all ages and ethnic groups. You don't need a degree to be a flight attendant, and so you can start this at any time. I do believe you need to at least be 18. Don't quote me on that because I'm not sure. Number 4, customer service representative. I will probably say this one in every single video in this series, because if you don't know how to talk to people, work a customer service job, you will figure it out soon enough, because there's a lot of different people, a lot of different personalities. One day you're conflict resoluting, the next day, is that a word? One day you're solving problems, the next day you're consoling somebody who's crying at your desk and they just need help. And so if you don't have interpersonal skills, do a customer service job. It doesn't even matter which one you do. As long as you are assisting customers every single day, whatever it is that you're doing, you will gain interpersonal skills by doing a customer service job. And you don't need a degree. You can start this job minimum 16. So for all my teenagers trying to make money out here, and you're an introvert, start early. It'll be easier for you to transition into the workplace if you start your skills early. And so at 16, you can work at Walmart, you can work at McDonald's, you can work at the mall, in your favorite store. Listen, get a customer service job, especially if you're young. This will definitely teach you interpersonal skills quickly, and you will learn as years go on how to effectively speak with people so that you provide good customer service. And for all my young ones, I know that it's hard to just jump in and find a job and figure out what you need. So you can email me directly and I will help you out for free. I will help you get your resume and I'll help walk through the process of what it is that you need as a young person to break out into the job field, because I know what it's like. I had my first job when I was 16 and I know what it's like to want money, to need money, and to want to break out and buy your own stuff. And so I got your back, I got you covered. Number 5, nurse. Every time I go to a doctor's office, well, not every time, but most of the time, the nurses are way nicer than the doctors. And I imagine this is because they have to have a different level of emotional intelligence and empathy. Nurses are the ones that speak directly to customers and clients and patients every single day. They are the first point of contact. They take down all the information. They give us all the information. They tell us what we need to do. They tell us where we need to go. And so nurses are kind of the information center of a doctor's office. And since health is already a sensitive subject, I imagine that it takes a high level of interpersonal skills to be able to understand and relate to your patients. And so if you like helping people, if you like dealing with health and wellness, then being a nurse might be a good job for you. Now, it will require an associate's degree, and if you want to be extra fancy and make your way to the top as soon as you graduate, then it will require a Bachelor of Science in Nursing. 2 years or 4 years, you got it. And if you need a little bit more proof, then be a volunteer. Volunteer at the hospital for a few months and see how you like that. I believe you can volunteer even at a young age. So if it's something that you might be considering, go to your local hospital, see what volunteer programs they have, sign up, and start getting your feet wet, you know? These are important skills to have, and if you already like helping people, you're well on your way. Number 6, beautician. Okay, I like this one. Let me tell you why. A beautician or a cosmologist is basically a hair expert, a nail expert, and a skin expert. And if this is something that you like to do just as a hobby or on the side, this might be something that you can break out into an actual career. Now, most beauticians, they have to find their own clients. And I imagine that takes a lot of interpersonal skills. Not only do you have to find the clients, but you got to make them trust you, you got to do your job well, and you have to know how to communicate so that you can set up appointments, so that you can follow through an appointment, so that you can be on time to your appointments. Because I do know a lot of beauticians who like to be late. And let me tell you, as a client or a customer, that ain't cute. So, yeah. If you're an introvert like myself and you also like hair and nails and making sure your skin is nice and right, then I would consider looking into being a beautician. Now, you don't need a degree to be a beautician or a cosmetologist, but you do need extensive training and certification as well as a license. This is a good job to improve your interpersonal skills because you definitely can't get clients with a funky attitude. Quick story, let me tell you. I went to this nail place and this lady did my nails beautifully. I love the way she did them. I couldn't find anyone who could do them as perfect as she did. And so I was like, all right, I got a nail place. And so I go back and apparently I didn't say the correct term or whatever, French manicure, all the things that you're supposed to say. Apparently you're supposed to say full set with French tip. And so she was doing the manicure with just clear polish, and I was like, where's the shellac? Where's the acrylic? What are we doing here? And she was like, oh, you said manicure. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, that's not what I meant. And so after that, she did the full set for me, but she was cussing me out in her language. Like, she was cussing me out in another language. And even though I couldn't understand what she was saying, I felt the attitude and I never went back. And so at the end of the day, if your skills don't match your attitude and the service that you provide, trust me when I say you will lose clients. I never went back. That was years ago. I never went back again. If you want to be a beautician, you like to do hair, you like to do makeup, that's all good and well. Get your skills up. Make sure you know how to contour, how to braid, how to flat iron, all the good things. And then also make sure your interpersonal skills are A1 because it does matter. Lastly, number 7, public relations. The idea is literally in the title, relations of the public. The main responsibility of a public relations person, in short, is to attract clients. So if that's for a product, if that's for a campaign, if that's for extra support, if that's for fundraising, the main idea is to attract clients. How can you attract clients with a bad attitude? How can you attract clients if you don't understand them? How can you sell a product if you don't have empathy with what a person may need or not need? That means if someone says no, you can't be mad and then be trying to force the product on somebody. It takes a really skilled person to be effective in public relations because it involves fundraising, marketing, selling. You got to do all the things under one umbrella. And so in order to be successful, you need to have different interpersonal skills that allow you to effectively communicate what it is that you're trying to communicate to the people of the public. Now, this is also one of those jobs where you don't need a degree, but it would be good if you have one in either business, communications, marketing, just to have it under your belt and kind of jump in. But if you find yourself wanting to do public relations, you can always start from the bottom and work your way up. You can start as a front desk person. You can start as someone who assists someone, like in politics, you're assisting a campaign and then you work your way up, or volunteer in a campaign, or volunteer to do social media marketing for a client, maybe for free, or freelancing. Just get your feet wet a little bit before you break out into public relations. But this is a really good job for introverts because it opens up a world of diverse people, and the best way to effectively communicate with people is to communicate and understand people from all walks of life. This is literally the perfect job to be able to do that. So there you have it. 7 jobs that will help you build your interpersonal skills, especially as an introvert where interpersonal skills don't come that easily to us. You can always get a job where you don't have to talk to nobody, where you're at home all the time, where it's just you and your computer, but your skills are not going to grow that way. So I am here to encourage you to improve those skills now so that it can set you up later to do whatever it is you want to do. Because even if you break out and want to work for yourself, you still need to have these interpersonal skills, like I mentioned with the beautician, attracting and getting their own clients. You still need to be able to have a level of understanding and social interaction with the people that you are servicing. I know that these may be uncomfortable jobs, but like I always say, do what you gotta do now so that you can do what you want to do later. Let me know if you have any questions or any thoughts or comments. Drop them down below. Until next time, thanks for watching.